Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Touring Australia. We've just got a few tips on tyre pressures. So if you're new to four-wheel driving or you're looking to improve your information and skills four-wheel driving, we've got some information for you that may help. Now, reducing tyre pressures, what do you go down to and when? Well, it does depend on what brand or type of tyre you're using and of course where you're using it. When you're on the blacktop, obviously you're going to be at full pressure, and it could be anything from around 30 to up to 80 psi, to be honest, but usually probably in the range of 35 to 45 psi, depending what tyre and what load you're putting on it. When I say 80 psi, that is some of the big light truck tyres with maximum load do require 80 psi to take that load. The pressure is what helps keep them cool, okay? So be aware of that. Now, on your average load, on an average touring vehicle, you may need to go up to around about the 45 mark. It all depends, and you may vary it depending on the load you have in the vehicle. But let's get into some talk about tyre pressures off-road. The off-road scenario, as soon as you hit the tracks and you're running at lower speeds, sort of under 60 or mainly low range, dirt roads. So look, let's go for dirt roads. Let's talk about 80 to 100k dirt roads, because there's a lot of dirt roads where you're going to be doing closer to 100 or you're not going to get there. They're straight, they're flat, they're open, they may be corrugated and potholed. So what's the best thing? You don't want to go too low, you don't want to go too high, okay? Too low, it does get your sidewall of your tyres down closer to more sharp rocks, and when you're travelling at 80 to 100, believe it or not, you've still got your foot on the gas, so it is possible those wheels are slightly spinning, so it's more likely they're going to spin and turn and throw themselves into some sharp territory and possibly damage your tyre. So if you've got a two-wheel drive, engage four-wheel drive for this reason. Spread the load between all your tyres. If you're just turning your back tyres, if you've got a 3-ton four-wheel drive or 5-ton with a caravan or you're towing something, you've got all that weight trying to be driven forward on a dirt road. So the rear tyres are spinning, okay? They're spinning, but they're not, they're not spinning as in out of control spinning. Oh, have a look at this sunset. How's that for you guys, eh? Look at that. It's going to get, sorry about the picture, but hopefully it looks all right. Looks good from here. So sort of about, look, on a dirt road, look, on one hand, you need to, excuse me, it's a balance, right? If you want to travel at speed 80 to 100 k's, you need to keep some pressure in there, okay? So you can't let them down to 22 for comfort if you're going to be traveling at 100 k's, or can you? Well, it just depends what tyres. That's another video. In this one, I would like to say ballpark, you're going to be talking around the 26, 28 psi, depending on the tyre type and the load. And we can't cover all different tyre types and loads, but as a general guide, mid-20s, sort of 26-ish, through to high 20s, probably 28, that sort of thing. It depends how rough it is. So have a think about that information, make it work for you. If you're getting out onto the tracks, the slower dirt roads and four-wheel drive tracks, you may as well go straight down to no more than 25 psi for a couple of reasons. A, for comfort for you and your vehicle and its occupants, okay? So for comfort's one of your biggest reasons. One of the other main reasons we let the tyres down is for traction. So to increase not the width but the length of the tyre contact with the ground. As you let the tyre down, it becomes longer, okay? Now, going down to 25 doesn't make a massive difference. It's mainly going to give you that comfort we talked about. Remember what I said, for you, the vehicle, and the vehicle's occupants, not just you or the vehicle, right? The vehicle's copping a hammering, right? When oncoming vehicles, we go off to the side, right? We don't halt the road. There's no need to go off a kilometre before, but be aware you want to make your moves slowly on those loose surfaces on the left. So don't leave it too late and do a big swerving manoeuvre and end up sideways and, big bingles and all that. Not good either, right? So driving experience. So no more than 25 is where I would start. That'll get you through most dry tracks that are sort of easy, medium rated. Once it gets a little bit harder, you may need to go down to sort of 22 is a good number. 22 is still fairly safe. Because you're traveling at lower speeds, it doesn't matter so much about keeping the pressure to keep your tyres cool, because you're traveling at lower speeds, right? Having lower pressure you're not spinning the wheels, you're not traveling at that 80-100k. So I'm not too worried about the sidewalls. What's going to happen here is the less pressure is going to allow the tyres to wrap around the sharper objects. It's going to allow it to wrap around to get more grip. It's going to allow it to wrap around to avoid rocks, so the pressure isn't pushing really hard into those hard rocks. Okay, so 22 to 25, if they're a bit steeper and they're a bit harder, or there's a bit of moisture and you're finding it a bit slippery and a bit hard, you can go down to 20, you can go down to 18. You shouldn't really need to go lower than 20. If you're getting to really steep tracks and they are wet, you may need to go down around 15. I've never really had to go lower than 15 on, say, your steep, rough, sort of high country hills. Okay, you're normally going to be higher than that. You're going to be around the 20 either side, again, as described previously. But if it is wet and it is steep and you're struggling a bit with traction, you may need to go down to 15. 15 is usually more of a sand pressure. Okay, so let's get to sand. Sand, yeah, if it's firm sand, you're on Fraser on the main area, you may as well stay on give him the benefit of the doubt, as soon as he's got a car, mate, Commodore, mate. Some people like that, they expect because you're in a full drive that you go off and they don't. That's not the way it works, but sometimes we'll help you out. It's 50-50, phone a friend. So if you're on that hard packed sand, I'm sort of more of a, again, that 28. You've got a heavy load, you've got a heavy car, you need to keep the pressure in there. It's rock hard like a highway, so 28's good. If you're getting out into those softer tracks, maybe down to 20, 22. That way you've got a balance of, you can still do 60, 70 on the beaches, maybe up to 80 at times, and you've still got low enough pressure to get the job done in the softer sand. If you get onto some really soft beaches, some like West Coast beaches, I'll say in general, as examples, West Coast of which state, it doesn't matter, but West or Southwest Coast sort of type stuff, it can be really soft. You can even need to go as low as 8. If you're going down as low as 8, if it's getting soft, mate, you could get into trouble. Make sure you got a lot of recovery gear and other people with experience. Don't go on these beaches till you got a lot of experiences. Most beaches, you could start on about 15. These sort of beaches with softer sand, start on 15. 16's all right, 15. This is where every PSI makes a massive difference. Every PSI from even under 20, and the lower you go, the more it makes a difference. Okay. As you go 14, 13, 12, it just makes a massive difference. Okay, a hill, some hills you could hit at 80 k's, mate. Big Red out on the Simpson Desert on 16 or 17 psi and not make it up. But then on 12 psi, you could go up at idle speed without spinning a wheel. That's the sort of difference it makes. It's massive. So I hope that's helped with tyre pressures. Okay, when you've got to start going below 12, you've got to start thinking, have I got the experience for this? Have I got other recovery gear? And should I be doing this on my own? And is the vehicle reliable? Am I in a remote place? Just think about it. You've got to build your way up with experience. Don't just go into the hardest, softest sand. You're going to get stuck. It's not going to be fun anymore. Okay. So I hope that's helped. A bit of a guide on tyre pressures. That's where I said anything from 8 to 80 psi is what. Look at this guy. See, doesn't want to go off the road. No problem, mate. We'll go off. So, a bit of courtesy there, a bit of extra courtesy sometimes. Courtesy for everybody on the roads is good. Here's another little free tip at the end for people that watched it. If you're on an outback dirt road like this, just imagine this whole road was dirt. Keep it on your rear view mirror. You see someone catching up to you, do everyone a favour. Do yourself, the biggest favour is you, right? Because if I want to travel at 100, because the road's straight and flat, I've got experience and I can handle it. My vehicle's set up, I know what I'm doing on that road. And you're less experienced, you're not set up, you've got the wrong suspension, you've got high pressures, and you're just doing it crazy at 70, and you don't even want to do that, that's fine. You've got the wrong setup. But rest assured, I'm not you, and plenty of other people are set up right as well. Move over, okay? Slow down, move over. The more you slow down and move over, let them get past quicker. They're going to be happy because you didn't spray them with rocks, okay? And you're going to be happier because you're not making them speed up even more, making it dangerous because you're being selfish and you won't move over, and you'll get sprayed in rocks, and then you're going to hate it even more, and you're not going to want to let the next guy pass. I know it's hard because there is some cowboys out there going too fast, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, but there's even more people that are going slow, which I'm not complaining about, everyone at their own speed, but courtesy. See, courtesy just came in at the end of this video. It was called tyre pressures. But anyway, This one's courtesy. Please provide the courtesy to people that you would expect also. When safe to do so, preferably on a straight section of road, okay? We don't want people going past on bends. We don't want you pulling over, going slow on the bend, trying to let them pass, and then they're going to go, oh, not good, right? We need a straight road. Like this, straight enough, doesn't it? If you slow down to 50 and just duck over to the left, I'm going to go hard right, mate. I'm going to have 3 car spaces in between us on some roads. Some roads 5 even. Some of these roads are massive. There's so much room. You only need to go momentarily left. I'm going to go far right. I'm going to zip past, and I'm not going to speed up or move back over. You know, let's stay out of each other's dust, right? Even do us a favour. Look which way the wind's blowing, right? And you might even, you know, just think, okay? I hope that's been helpful, not only with tyre pressures, with a bit of courtesy on those outback roads, because we certainly need to do something about it as it gets more busy out there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, if I've earned your subscription, please subscribe, turn that bell on, and I promise to have more awesome information and scenery coming your way. Thanks for watching. See ya.